Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the campus here at the University of New Hampshire. It is Championship Sunday, and the more things change, the more they stay the same. It's going to be a Bishop Guertin versus Bedford final. Been there, done that, but this is version 2.0. Jason Roby here along with Steve Cody on the Moving Pictures. I am joined by the head coach of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, Brad Craik. And Coach, what can we expect here today? A beautiful day out there, Sunday. Wonderful day. Your kids are out there stretching right now, getting ready for pregame. We've been here before. It feels like we were just standing up here a year ago, and here we are once again. What can we expect from your team here this afternoon?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great showcase for girls high school basketball. It always is. This is the fifth time in 7 years that this has been the title matchup. So I would be very surprised, with the exception of the COVID year when we didn't have a title game. This has been a matchup that people have come pretty used to seeing. So, and they've with one exception when they kind of took us apart a couple years ago when Bella King was a senior. These have always been really, really tight games, and I would be surprised if you saw something different than that today.
I was looking at the last year's results, and of course a world away, but it was a game where you guys only had the lead for about 3 minutes of the entire game. What's the message been to your team about getting out to a little bit faster start as compared to not just the title game last year, but the regular season tilt this year?
Yeah, your opening comment's the right one. Is the final last year seems so long ago, and it was really we were a very different team. They're a very different team. So I'm not sure that last year's the right comparison, but this year's regular season game certainly is. And we were down 10 at the end of the first quarter,
right?
And really just had a very uncharacteristically choppy start. So I'm hoping that we settle in quickly today. The nerves will be up there for sure. Everybody's going to be a little twitchy. It's to be expected. Players, coaches, everybody. I think the sooner we can just settle down and make it a basketball game, the better off we're going to be. And fingers crossed that that doesn't take us too long to do that.
Did you learn anything from the playoff game? You had a chance to watch this Bedford team in their playoff win, a great game against Portsmouth. They won by 4, but it was a back-and-forth tilt between two of the state's best. Did you learn anything different about this Bedford team that you didn't know prior to that semifinal game?
I wouldn't, Jason, say anything different, but really confirm some things that I think we knew about them.
Yeah.
And probably the most important thing, which I'm sure Coach Gibbs is exceedingly happy about, is that they're just a very tough-minded group of kids. They were down on 2 or 3 separate occasions in that game, and they had a couple kids in foul trouble early. And they had kids step up. They did not go away. They kept their poise, and I'm sure that's something that that Coach Gibbs has been building on all week long. And you just never know what the environment's going to be around here. But just their toughness, their physical and their mental toughness was the thing that stuck out to me. The X's and O's, I think. You get down to this point in time in the year, and everybody's scouted everybody reasonably well, and you don't typically find people making wholesale changes to what they do. We didn't see anything fundamentally different in them, but I guess I was just so impressed with their intestinal fortitude to kind of just hang around when things were a little difficult for them, and they found a way to win that game.
You and I spoke a little bit about what you need from your team, and I guess the message that your team, and speaking to Megan Stack after the semifinals, she said, look, we just have to play our game, and we have to do the things that we do. We know what Bedford's going to give us. They know what we're going to give them, but if we give everything we have and we play our game, we'll be okay. What do those things entail? You and I spoke about a couple of kids needing to have certain things happen for them today. What are those things?
Sure. So I think from a team perspective, Jason, it's really the same old for us. I think if we can be sound defensively as a team, that's always a good place to start. It takes a little bit of the risk of whether we're shooting the ball well, whether we turn it over and so forth out of the equation if we can make it hard for other teams to score against us. So,
right.
I hope and I believe that we'll be pretty sound defensively, and that's sort of 1 through 5 on the floor. So that's the first and probably most important thing for us. If we can limit our mistakes, just play as clean a game as we can possibly play. You're really from 2 perspectives. One is don't turn it over, So if we can keep our turnovers kind of into the low teens, that's a good sign for us generally. And if we can try to stay out of foul trouble,
Right.
when we get in foul trouble, it doesn't happen a lot, but when it does happen, it just takes us out of the rhythm of our rotations, which are really important to us because we like to play 8 or 9, and we've always had success with that. So if we can, if those things go our way, I feel good about our ability to be in a fourth quarter game and hopefully make just a little bit, make a couple more plays than they do down the stretch. And then, of course, they got 2 really elite kids. And they're a very good team, of course, but, they got 2 mid-major Division I, 6-foot-plus basketball players. And that's just a heck of a tough thing to defend against. And so, if we can just make it hard for those 2, they're going to score. We'll see how we do.
I assume you're talking about Allard and McCarthy. Just a guess there for those 2. Sure. Allard had 22 the last time you played them. McCarthy, after halftime, you shut her down in the last game you played, but certainly after watching her in that semifinal game, she's playing at a different level right now. Any special plans towards them, or just kind of play within your scheme?
Mostly within our scheme. We do have a couple of little wrinkles that we probably will use at various points in time today, but, we just have to really be cognizant of where those 2 are on the floor at all times. Try to make things very, very difficult for them. And, we've emphasized all week long, I think when we in 5:30, 5:45 today, I think, maybe the single most important thing that's going to determine who wins this game is rebounding. They are a really, really good offensive rebounding team.
Right.
And if we allow them to control the glass and they get a lot of second and third chances, they're going to score the ball.
Yeah.
So we just have to do a good job, checking them when the ball goes up, because they'll kill us if we don't rebound the basketball.
Playing on the bigger floor here at UNH, this is a Bishop Guertin team that has been known to turn up the pressure defensively a lot, but also a team that likes to get out and run themselves. Does the court hurt you, help you, neutralize? What are we thinking about this large UNH court?
So, I've always chuckled, all the conventional wisdom about, we play on a small court and, that's a huge advantage for us, etc. I don't know. I think that does a disservice to our kids. I think we got some athletic kids that know how to run the floor, whether the floor is 84, 86, 94 feet. You can make as good an argument that the longer floor is more helpful to us than less, because it makes everybody have to run an extra 8 or 10 feet on every possession, and over a 32-minute game, you hope that you just got a little more juice and a little more legs than the other team, and that'll benefit you down the stretch.
And that was kind of my point that I was getting to, a team that likes to get out and run, and you kind of wear your opponent down. Oh, by the way, you had 32 points in the title game last year off of turnovers. So certainly some on this very floor.
Yeah.
So something that the fans, you're right, and myself included at times, we get caught saying, well, they benefit from playing on a smaller floor, but you actually benefit from playing on a larger floor too, depending on how you slice that cake, no question.
Yeah, look, the dimensions of the basketball court are not going to decide who wins this game today. It's going to come down to, like it always does when we play this team over the years, it's going to come down to who plays the best. I think from a talent perspective, we're different, but 2 pretty evenly matched teams.
Yeah.
They got some very, very good basketball players. They're deep. They'll play 8 or 9 and not worry about it. We'll do the same. It's just going to be who makes more plays, who makes more positive plays, but equally important is who makes fewer mistakes. So I think the combination of just who plays just the best basketball game, for 32 minutes, probably going to end up holding up the trophy.
Yeah, that's well said, Coach, and that's everything that I've looked at from start to finish. Every time we've covered your game, that you've checked off all the boxes. I want to wish you the best of luck here this afternoon. I know your girls are ready. I'm sure Bedford is ready, and it's going to be the tilt that everybody has been talking about since we were here 1 year ago watching you 2 go at it. So wish you the best of luck, Coach, and go get them.
Yeah, thanks very much. And guys, I know I say it to you guys too infrequently, but we can't thank you enough for all the coverage. You guys are great for girls high school basketball, and we appreciate everything that you do for us and all the other programs.
Thanks, Coach. Much appreciated. He is Brad Craig, the head man of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. In just a little bit, they will try to defend their New Hampshire Division I state title. We'll be back for the tip-off and the starting lineups right after this. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the campus here at the University of New Hampshire. It is Championship Sunday. Bishop Guertin, the number 1 seed, taking on the number 3 seed Bedford Bulldogs. The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's like we were here just a minute ago, Steve Cody. My name is Jason Roby. I'll be doing the play-by-play and the color commentary for you. The man on the moving pictures is the highlight guy, Steve Cody. And if you are hearing the sultry sounds of my voice, it's because you are listening to us terrestrially. Because we have Steve Cody with us, that's extraterrestrially. How's that, Steve? So we are not allowed to put the moving pictures on until after the game concludes. It's an NFHS rule. A lot of you calling me and emailing and texting me, are you going to be able to do the game live? Yes and no. So we will have the audio here for you. But as far as the moving pictures go, that will come within 48 hours of us filming this. So how did we get here? This is a Bishop Guertin team that went undefeated throughout the course of the regular season, 21-0. They had a bye in the first round of the tournament. Then they beat number 9 Concord 66-48. Then they beat Goffstown in the semifinals, the number 4 seed, 67-49. On the other side of the ledger, this is a number 3 Bedford team that beat Alvern in the first round, 59-33. They were the 14 seed. Then they beat the 11 seed Manchester Memorial 67-37. And then they beat number 2 Portsmouth 64-60. An absolute crazy game. A great semifinal game. A great game for girls high school basketball here in the state of New Hampshire. Avenging their only other loss during the course of the year. They lost to Portsmouth 55-53 in the regular season. So they avenged that one. The only other crooked number on their record, this Bishop Guertin team. They played back on February 17th. It was a 73-66 BG victory, but it went right down to the wire, went down to free throws. We have some numbers from that game. Brooke Paquette from Bishop Guertin dropped 30 points in that tilt back in February. Olivia Murray had 8. Stack had 18 points. She dropped 26 in the semifinals recently, by the way. Kate Daly had a point, and Caitlin Wheeler had 16. Meanwhile, for the Bulldogs in that regular season tilt, Lila Stein had 12. Kate Allard had 14, and Lana McCarthy had 10. So obviously, Allard had 24. And we talked about her in the pregame. We think that Kate Allard is a player of note, very long, athletic individual who a great basketball player. She's a 6'2" sophomore, so she's going to be providing headaches for folks for years to come, but she looks to make her mark in this championship game. These two teams met here a year ago. It was a 48-46 Guertin victory. Bishop Guertin only led for 3 minutes and 33 seconds of that one, which is crazy to think about. Bedford dominating start to finish, except for the time that it mattered most, and that was at the end of the game. They were led by Alana McCarthy's 14 points, and she also had 14 rebounds, so she was a dominant force on the floor last year. She had a fantastic game in the semifinals against Portsmouth. She had 22 points, most notably 18 points in the second half, so proving that she can go the distance. Should be a great one here. We're going to meet the starting lineups for both teams. On your dial, Bedford is sitting to my left and Bishop Guertin to my right, the exact same spot they were in, I believe, a year ago. The only difference was Bedford, I believe, was in their white uniforms and Guertin was in their green uniforms, as Bedford was the higher seed. Guertin was way down below. We want to say hello to all of our friends watching from Massachusetts. Received several texts and phone calls today wondering if they would be able to watch the highlight guy. Now you can listen to us for sure. So the starting lineups here: Ava Dubois and Brooke Paquette, Bedford, BG respectively. Lila Stein getting the start. Also, number 11 is Olivia Murray for the Cardinals. Her numbered counterpart on the other side is Sid the Kid Grogan. The young lady we spoke about, Kate Allard. Hannah Lynch for the Cardinals. Lana McCarthy for Bedford. Caitlin Wheeler for the Cards, and of course, number 15, Megan Stack. We'll take this time out for the playing of our national anthem, and we'll be right back with the opening tip. All right, the Bishop Guertin Pep Band performing the national anthem here. These two schools very familiar with one another. Want to congratulate the Bishop Guertin girls and boys hockey teams, double state champions yesterday. And it seems like if it's not Guertin, it's Bedford. Bedford High School having tremendous athletic achievement here this particular school year. So only fitting that these two teams face off on the campus at the University of New Hampshire for one more state title. To the victor goes the spoils. 8 minutes on the clock. Bedford High School in their black uniforms, Bishop Guertin in their white uniforms. And we are ready to rock and roll here. It's a little bit hot up here. I know you can't see Steve Cody, but he is wearing a 1987 Wares Beach mesh cutoff t-shirt. Hard to believe, but that's what he has on up here in the booth. McCarthy and Stack to do the honors. Bishop Guertin going right to left on your dial. Bedford left to right. 2023 state title tilt ready to go, and we are underway. The jump ball goes over to Dubois, and Bedford will operate. Here comes the double team underneath, and second chance opportunity is in for McCarthy, and she's in the books. Back the other way come the Cardinals. Paquette going to be picked up just over half court by Stein. She'll dribble to the right, hand it off to Murray. Gets the on-ball pick. Murray with a delay. In the key, the runner, too hard off the glass. Hannah battling for the rebound. She gets it. Kept alive. Murray drives the baseline, goes up strong. No call. Rebound goes to Stein. And Bedford will run. Paquette marking up Stein. They quickly reverse it to Dubois. Guertin now in their person-to-person defense. Lila Stein got it over on the corner, back to Dubois. They're trying to establish the post. In through the middle it goes. They were looking for Allard, couldn't find her. Bounce pass stolen there by Wheeler, and just muscling it away from her was McCarthy, and she's got 4 quick points, 4-0 Bulldogs. 7:05 to go here, first quarter. That ball nearly stolen. It was deflected. The ball was deflected by Sydney Grogan. They're going to call a backcourt. Referees will talk it over, and I'm sure they're going to give the ball back to Guertin, and they do. So good job by the officials down on the floor. There are 3 of them. That has made the playoffs very interesting. They do not operate with 3 officials most of the regular season, and then come playoff time, they do. They'll run the same play. It goes over to Hannah. Lynch gets the ball to Wheeler. Wheeler back up top. Hannah will dribble drive, and the ball gets intercepted. Stepping into that passing lane was Allard, and she'll run. She doesn't have the numbers. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line. Side iron, no. Offensive board taken by Dubois. Allard drives through the paint, and a pretty make there. Allard is on the board. 6-0 Back the other way quickly come the Cardinals. This is a Bedford team that got out quickly against BG during the regular season game. This is not the start Coach Craig wanted. Stepping in the passing lane there, Paquette, little pull-up jumper from the free throw line, and she'll knock down. It won't be a shutout, folks. 6-2. Cards are on the board. Here comes the full court pressure, or the player-to-player pressure. Quickness of the guards, and right to the hoop. And going up strong was McCarthy. She was hacked in the act. Foul will be the first team foul, first individual foul against Bishop Guertin. And it will go against Wheeler. And side iron no good there for McCarthy. She'll get a second chance. 6-2 Bedford, 5:57 to go, first quarter of this one. McCarthy back iron, no, but another offensive rebound as Allard pulls it down. Baseline, nice pass again over to McCarthy. Double team, doesn't matter. She flexes her muscle and puts it in. 8-2 Bulldogs. Paquette got the ball over to the corner. Lynch will direct traffic. Nice crossover there. Up to Stack from the foul line. Left elbow and no, in and out. It was a good look, but couldn't get it to fall, and back the other way come the Bulldogs. Allard on the baseline finds McCarthy. Top right circle, now baseline. Two players hit the deck. Bedford keeps possession. Stein now operating in the half court. Paquette marking her up, working left to right on your dial. She goes by Paquette. Little help defense there. Scoop shot, no. And Lynch had the ball taken from her. And I think we're going to get, I don't know if it's a jump ball foul, but it was Lynch that had the ball first. And it looks like, I'm not quite sure what the call was. They were both battling for a rebound there. I guess they're going to give it to Hannah Lynch, but interesting call there as Allard will head to the line. Referee was emphatically saying 2 free throws. Allard knocks down the first. So Wheeler will check out and Muller will check in. Two out of 2 for the 6'2 sophomore forward, and we have a timeout on the floor. Bishop Guertin. And it is all Bedford here. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Your score early going of this one, it is 10-2 Bedford. 5:05 to go here. First quarter action. We talked a little bit about the game here last year. I'm sure one of the things that Coach Gibbs was telling his team, we have to take care of the basketball against this Bishop Guertin team because they scored 31 points off of turnovers against Bedford a year ago. So I'm sure that has been a point of emphasis here leading into this one. A year ago, Paquette dropped in 21 in the title tilt. They did not have Megan Stack. She's 0 for 1 from the floor so far on a shot that was in and out. 10-2. Bulldogs will pick up just over the half court. Paquette over to Murray. Murray finds TB, and they'll get it back over to Hana. Paquette, right side, top of the circle. Into the paint. The runner in the lane is no good. And another rebound for Allard and the Bulldogs. They will run. This is Dubois. She'll go over the top. Nice denial defense there. They're fronting McCarthy, and that was Stack. Stack stops her dribble, gets it out to TB. We'll see if they try to establish an inside presence here. And Hana throws one up, taking it to the hoop strong, and she'll get hacked in the act. So Hannah Lynch will head to the free throw line, and that will be McCarthy's first personal. Cardinals have 2 fouls. The Bulldogs 1. Hana will step to the line. Balcony Muppets are alive and well here on the Bedford side. Hana knocks down the first. She'll get a second. Nice crowd here at the University of New Hampshire. In and out, but TB went up, battled for that one. We'll see who they give it to. They're going to give it to Bedford, as TB was battling Allard for that. 1 out of 2 for Lynch. It is a 10-3 ball game. Bedford by 7. Operating in the half court now is Stein. She comes over and going to get called for the travel. She went to the left side. The BG defense clamped down, and they'll turn the ball over. Daly will check in, and checking out will be Murray. So Murray will head to the bench. Daly known for her defensive prowess. Coach Craig puts her in when BG has possession. Paquette will drive, goes up strong, kisses it off the glass. They cleared everybody to the left. Paquette went to the hole. The triple team came late. 10-5. And here comes the fronted defense. No call, but a great help defense by Paquette. And Stack will run. And Stack has her pocket picked. Here comes Sid Grogan. Grogan now has her pocket pick. Ball on the ground. Bounce pass goes to Lynch. And it goes off of her feet. I'm going to call a kick. An offensive kick. Doesn't really matter. Bedford will get the ball anyway, as Annie Zink will check in. And Stein will head to the bench. Zink is a 5'5" freshman guard. So 10-5, 3:41 to go here. Grogan marked up by Daly. Ball goes over into the right side. This is Zink. Got the ball to the elbow. And a travel called on Allard. So a couple of turnovers here against the Bulldogs, allowing BG to get a little bit closer. And TB will check out. Checking into the game now is Great Malls of Fire, Molly Smith, 5'8", junior guard rather. Back the other way comes Guertin. Malls of Fire looking for help. They feed it into Stack. Went off of Stack's foot. Card's very lucky there to get the ball back. Pull-up jumper from the elbow is good from Paquette, and she has 6. 10-7, and a cheap one there going to be called against Lynch, and that's her second personal. So we know Coach Craig going to head back to the bench, and it's going to be Murray checking in. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ledger, Devlin McDonald will get her first game action, and Coach Gibbs will give McCarthy a break. Inbound pass comes. Here's Zink now, working to her left. Over towards the corner, marked up by Paquette. Good denial defense there, and the ball was stolen. It was knocked away by Stack. Paquette came away with it. Nice crossover dribble there. Paquette, kick out. Daly, they reverse it. Malls of Fire, and now back to Daly. Bounce pass down on the low block. They go right at Allard. Stack couldn't get it to go. It was a tough angle. Allard, a thorn in everybody's side there as she tries to steal the ball from Sid the Kid. And they're going to call Daly, I believe, on the reach-in. And it is on Daly. That'll be her first foul. That'll be the, I believe it's the 4th team foul. Still just the 1 foul against Bedford. Zink, left-hand dribble into the paint, goes up strong, no. And another offensive rebound. Ava Dubois cleans the glass. Back the other way, the ball stolen by Dubois. Back the other way comes Bedford. They reverse it over to Zink. Zink back up top, Sid the Kid. They reverse it to Dubois. Dubois will dribble drive on the baseline. No. Open look from 3. No. Rebound goes to Stack. She'll let it go out of bounds. 12-7, Bedford. Wheeler will check back in. Stack will get her first break. Sid the Kid will head to the bench as Stein will check back in. 2:06 to go, first quarter action. Bedford up on BG, 12-7. Malls of Fire, left-hand dribble over to the side, Daly. Daly will right-hand dribble, find Murray. Murray will dribble drive, throwing up in the paint, no. Battle for the rebound goes, and another foul was going to be called by the Cardinals, trying to crash the glass. And again, I believe that's going to go against Daly. That is her second foul, and the team's 5th. So Guertin got to be careful here. They're picking up too many fouls in the first quarter. Meanwhile, Bedford only with just the one. They probably could have been whistled for a foul on that last offensive rebound they had by Dubois. Travel call, and that's the third travel call against the Bulldogs in the first quarter. No rest for the weary, as checking back in is Stack. Daly will get a break. (12-7) Bulldog lead. Really has been all Bulldogs, so the fact that they're only down by 5, the Cardinals, it's a good look. And Stack goes underneath. She couldn't get it to go. Offensive board was taken by Guertin. Bedford got it back. Sloppy play here underneath the basket. 1:20 to go, first quarter, all alone, fired from the outside. No Zink. Pass the ball in, bodies hit, again, no call. Back the other way comes Stack. And she has the ball stolen. 2-on-2 now. Stein. No, another travel going to be called there. That's the 4th travel on Bedford. So good defense employed by the Cardinals. They made her choose between passing and shooting. And she took the 3rd option. 12-7. Back the other way comes Paquette, right to left. Cardinals in their white uniforms, Bedford in their black, red trim. Paquette will drive the lane, go up strong, too strong, and another rebound by Allard. That could have been called a carry. No call made by the referee. Coach Craig gets out of his seat wondering, where are the whistles? There's 2 teams out there, sir. Nice backdoor cut and finish at the hoop. Devlin McDonald is in the books. So definitely a one-sided game being called here. I'm not usually one to complain about the officiating, but it is definitely, in terms of the fouls, been one-sided. It looks like we'll get a timeout. So 3 big, 2 little. Each team with 5 timeouts. BG's taken one, and Bedford has taken one. It is a 14-7 game, 21.4 seconds to go here in the first quarter. So here's what they're playing for. Bishop Guertin, an undefeated season, the defending state champions here in the state of New Hampshire. Meanwhile, Bedford, their only loss other than BG during the year was to Portsmouth, and they avenged that one in the semifinals, a 4-point victory. So Bedford trying to capture their first title since 2 years ago. That was the year that Sanborn Regional High School hosted the finals. And they took this Guertin team out behind the woodshed. Right now, 14-7, Bedford has doubled up the Cardinals. And they will operate in the half court. Guertin will pick up just over the half court line. This is Stein looking for the pick on ball. Good quick hands there by Paquette. So not enough room on the baseline there to save it. May have been a blessing in disguise that she didn't. And they're giving McCarthy a lot of rest over there on the bench. That is a dangerous thing, a fresh McCarthy. Crossover dribble, Allard. No call. Back the other way, 2 seconds, 1. Got to shoot it, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Bedford High School, the Bulldogs, playing like a team possessed with something to prove here in the first quarter, have doubled up the Cardinals 14-7. Jason Roby calling the play-by-play and color commentary for you here. Steve Cody is the man on the moving pictures. You are listening to us terrestrially. I think that's a thing, Steve. I don't know. He'll nod his head and say yeah. A lot of you asking why we don't have this game on live here today. I appreciate the phone calls and the text messages. Thank you for the positive feedback on the semifinal rounds that we did for you. The NFHS, the National Federation of High Schools, gives the bid to only one group of folks to call it live. So if you want to listen to the highlight guy, you can turn the volume down on the other side of things and turn up the highlight guy, because we're on terrestrially. 14-7, Bedford doubling up the Cardinals. It has been all Bedford, and BG just kind of hanging around. Some sloppy play, turnovers, getting beaten on the glass for sure. And it looks like they're passing out some statistics down at the on the bench down there. We don't need those. We keep our own stats here. Although I would take a soda, maybe a hot dog or something, Steve. I don't know. Paquette drives, and they're going to call offensive foul on Paquette. And that'll be her first personal. More importantly, the 16th foul against the Cardinals. One more will put Bedford in the bonus the rest of the way in the first half. So sloppy play by the Cardinals. And back the other way comes Bedford. McCarthy back in the game. Lynch getting back late, and she's controlling the glass. They're going to say she stepped on the baseline. So a gift there for the Cardinals as McCarthy is fresh and back in for the second quarter. She has 6 points. Paquette has 6 for the Cardinals. Lynch to the baseline, marked up closely by Dubois. Stack, dribble drive, closed down, fired from the outside. Murray in and out, no. And another rebound for McCarthy. Back the other way comes Dubois and the Bulldogs. Losing her dribble, looking for some help, able to find Grogan. Grogan kicks it out to Stein. Stein now, left-hand dribble. Fired from way downtown, and a Yahtzee for the Bulldogs. That was Dubois on a design play. 17-7, another turnover against the Cardinals. And Bedford is up by 10. Checking in will be TB. Murray will head out. Full court pressure by the Cardinals. Trapped down in the corner. They find Grogan in the corner. 2-on-1. Oh, and they had McCarthy all by herself. The pass was a little behind her and head to the BG bench. So same book, different page for the Bulldogs. That would have been an easy bucket on that 2-on-1 after they broke the press. Paquette over half court. Finds Wheeler. Wheeler has not used the dribble. They find TB on the low block. Left hand. And the 6'2 forward buries it. If she can get hot, that would be huge for this Cardinal team. Lynch is back in the game. Skipping the pass across the way. Over to Zink. Zink dribble drive. They get it to McCarthy. Right hand dribble. Kick it back out. Allard now working on the far side. Crossover dribble. Pick on ball. Little pull-up jumper and a pretty shot there. It hits the top of the backboard. A little surprised that McCarthy had the opportunity to drive it to the hoop. She stopped at the elbow and put up the jump shot. So Guertin fortunate there as the double team came, and McCarthy found herself all alone at the elbow. Paquette marked up by Stein. The defense chant comes in. Another left-hand layup, or semi-hook rather, by Stack is no good. So only 3 Cardinals have scored thus far. McCarthy on the baseline. They're going to say it's on the floor. Lynch came over to help. And they're going to call her on the foul, I believe. And that's going to be her 3rd personal. So it's clear that the objective here has been to double and triple team McCarthy. Unfortunately, that'll be Hannah's 3rd. Molly Smith will check in, and McCarthy will head to the line. McCarthy to shoot 1-1 as the Bulldogs are in the bonus for the rest of the half. McCarthy back iron, no, 0 for 1 on that trip. She's 0 for 3 in the game so far. 17-9 Bulldogs. This is Paquette for the Cardinals. Gets it over to Wheeler, down on the low block. Stack up and under, and a pretty finish there on McCarthy. So Stack is in the books. Here comes the pressure again. They get it to Grogan. Over the half-court line and over to Dubois. Into the corner, baseline drive, and a little leather souffle. And of course, Bedford gets the roll there. Back in the corner is Allard. Side iron, no. Reaching over the top. Keeping it alive was McCarthy, and the Bulldogs will keep possession. So getting beat on the glass extensively here. And another block shot. Leather souffle by Stack. She'll come with the left-hand dribble. Kicked out to Paquette. She's not shy. No. and that will go out of bounds. Possession goes back to the Bulldogs. 4:40 to go. Murray will check back in, and Paquette will get her first break. 17-11. Hard to believe it's only a 6-point Bedford Bulldog advantage here. Stein over the half-court line, working against Malls of Fire. Will reverse her floor, take one up strong, and good English by Stein, and she's in the books. 19-11 Bulldogs. Murray now on the right side. Little hesitation. Nice little jump shot there, and oh, everything but in. It was a good look, good hustle by Malls of Fire. And Stack can't buy a bucket. She missed a little baseline or a little baseline hook, and another rebound for the Bulldogs. Bounce pass to the baseline. Stein, reversal. No, they're going to say travel. So that is the, I believe, the 5th traveling call against the Bulldogs here. Paquette will check in, and Smith will head to the bench. Comes over to Murray. Grogan marking her up from the elbow is Stack. Bounce pass underneath TB. No call. And finally, they get a whistle underneath. It's just the just the second team foul against the Bulldogs. So Muller will head to the line for 2. And she'll knock down the first. That's Allard's first personal, by the way. Dubois will check out, and checking in is Anna Stravopoulos. Muller, no. Another rebound from McCarthy. Gets it out to Grogan on the wing, and back the other way come the Bulldogs. Over to Allard. She has an easy look. It was contested late. Someone has got to grab the ball. You can box out. She's got to grab the ball. Paquette does just that. She'll dribble, throws one up high off the glass, and taking matters into her own hands is Brooke Paquette. Near turnover. And here comes Bedford the other way. 2-on-1. Trail defense. That one goes high and off the glass, and Stack will run. Cardinals do not have the numbers. Murray, little pull-up jumper, side iron, no, and another rebound for Stein and the Bulldogs. And all alone at the other end is Allard, and she'll knock it in. Allard, the 6'2 sophomore, has 6 points. Underneath it goes to Stack. Left hand, no call. Allard clears the glass. 21-14, and another turnover. This game all kinds of sloppy. Paquette will slow things down in the half court. Gets it over in the corner. Bounce pass from Wheeler. Wheeler will fire from 3, in and out. Someone's got a cover on the top of that basket. And we get a hold, and it's going to go against Guertin. And Coach Craig with both arms up, he can't believe it. So 8 team fouls against the Cardinals, just 2 for Bedford. They're playing flawless. So McCarthy will head to the line with a chance to extend this lead. It will be, again, a 1-and-1 opportunity. And Coach Craig looking for an explanation, as I'm sure most of the folks on the Bishop Guertin side of things are. They haven't put a foul number up yet. McCarthy back iron, no. Paquette gets the board. So McCarthy finding the free throw line is her arch nemesis here. Up and under, no hack call. I hit the table because I just can't believe it. Little baseline jumper for Allard. Air ball back the other way comes Paquette, finds Daly all alone. And they're going to say the foul is on the floor. We'll see who they give it to. It's either going to be Grogan or Stravopoulos, and it will be Sid the Kid. So her first personal foul. But that is just the the third team foul against the Bulldogs, and a steal there. and more bodies hit the floor. Guertin comes away with it. Jump ball is called. Possession goes to Bedford. Stack, no rest for the weary as TB will come out. Stack will re-enter the game. 1:48 to go until halftime. Bedford enjoying a 7-point lead against the Cardinals. Sid the Kid working against Murray. She goes high off the glass and finishes strong at the hole. She's in the books. Stack over to Murray. Murray crossover dribble between the legs. Into the paint she goes. Nice bounce pass there. Daly marked up. This is Stack and back out to Daly. Underneath it goes. Pretty bounce pass. Stack's not shy. Front iron, no. And another rebound, but no jump ball called. Back the other way come the Bulldogs. Lila Stein over into the corner. She's not shy. Over the top went McCarthy, and she gets hacked in the act. So McCarthy going to head back to the line. That one will go, I believe, against Paquette. McCarthy will head to the line. If you give her enough chances, she's going to start knocking these down. So a little break in the action here. McCarthy still in the 1-and-1 bonus. One more foul against the Cardinals, and it'll be a 2-shot bonus. And they said McCarthy was hacked in the act, so she misses that one. She'll get a second. A 9-point Bedford advantage here, 23-14. Back iron, no, and McCarthy gonna get called for over the top. And that's happened a few times here so far this afternoon. That's the first time we've seen it called. So McCarthy will pick up her second personal, but just the 4th team foul against the Bulldogs. 55 seconds to go here in the first half. Daly, bounce pass to Stack. Into the corner, good defense. Murray will dribble drive, put one up. Can't finish at the hole. Shot may have been altered by Grogan. Back the other way comes Stein and the Bulldogs. Murray guarding her. They get it back up top to Grogan. Grogan working against Wheeler. They get the ball down in the corner. A bounce pass and stolen there. Good defense by Daly. She fronted McCarthy. And a ball stolen by Sid the Kid. So turnover for turnover. 19 seconds left here in the first half. It goes to Allard. Little running hook. Front iron, no. Glass is cleared by Wheeler. And here come the Cardinals. Daly going to get called for the travel. So that has been the call of the night here, as Bedford has been called for, I believe, 6 travel calls. Meanwhile, the Cardinals for at least 1, maybe 2. Stein breaks the defense and goes right to the hoop. Can't get it to go. We will head to halftime here from the campus of the University of New Hampshire. And it has been all Bedford as they are beating the Cardinals at their own game, 23-14. You are listening to us live on the highlight guy, Jason Roby, with all of the play-by-play and color commentary for you. Steve Cody is the man on the moving pictures that'll be put up later. We'll take a break for a halftime adjustment or two, and we'll be back with second half action right after this. Welcome back to the University of New Hampshire, the Lundholm Gymnasium, site of today's Division I girls basketball final. Jason Roby calling all of the action for you. Steve Cody is the man on the moving pictures. Well, if you were with us in that first half, you saw just about as ugly a game as you will see from arguably the 2 best teams. So you have to think that each team creating a lot of the miscues. I got the numbers. Bedford High School with 13 turnovers in the first half. Bishop Guertin with 12. 25, count them, 25 turnovers. Both of these teams And it's definitely reared its ugly head. The Cardinals finding the shooting difficult as they just finished with 14 points. They're down by 9 as we enter the third quarter. It is a Bedford team that scored 14 in the first quarter, 9 in the second quarter. They were led by Kate Allard's 6 points and Lana McCarthy's 6 points. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ledger, it's Brooke Paquette leading all scorers with 8. But other than that, not much to show for the Cardinals as Lynch has 1, Stack has just a bucket, and Brooke Muller has 3. Cardinals scoring 9 in the first quarter, 5 in the second quarter to give them their 14-point total. We're ready to get things underway. Second half basketball, 8 minutes on the clock. Bishop Guertin going left to right now on your dial. Murray will get it in over to Paquette. Cardinals will operate in the half court. Bounce pass to Stack, top of the key. Couple of dribbles, out to Lynch. Lynch now gets the ball to Murray. Murray underneath, hard and strong, and in to Stack, finishing off the glass. Here comes the full court Cardinal pressure. Got to be careful now as timeout, I believe, is called, and it's a good timeout. So we'll look and see. That's only going to be a 30-second timeout for Bedford, and that came from the bench, so a good move by Coach Gibbs and his staff. Cardinals still have 4 timeouts left, and the Bulldogs with 3. 7:34 to go here in the third quarter. Guertin trying to cut into that Bedford lead. They're down by 7, 23-16. You are listening live on the highlight guy. Due to contractual obligations with the NFHS, we are not allowed to show you the moving pictures until after the fact. But we are allowed to do a little radio broadcast here. 3-on-1 now for Bedford. Allard penetrates, throws it up, and no, someone's got to grab the ball. McCarthy does, goes up strong and in. They're boxing out, but they're not grabbing the ball. You got to finish the job. Stack way at the top of the key. Bounce pass into Paquette. No call. Up and in for Paquette. And she's got 10. McCarthy over the half-court line. Pretty pass underneath to Allard. And she'll finish with a chance for a three-point play. So she'll head to the line. That's going to be Wheeler's second personal foul. I believe it's Wheeler. It is. So Allard with a chance to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way. She does not, but going up over the top. Travel called there on McCarthy. Ball will go the other way. So Allard missing from the free throw line. It'll make it 27-18 Bulldogs. 6:54 to go here in the third quarter. Paquette over the half-court line again, finds Stack at the top of the key. She'll dribble through and finish at the paint. So I think we know what they're going to try to do is spread out the defense of Bedford and let Stack take it right at McCarthy. McCarthy bounce pass to Allard down on the block. Nice left hand up and in over Lynch for Allard. And she's got 4. Back the other way comes Stack, and she throws one up haphazardly. Dubois will get the long rebound and set things up. Over to Grogan. Now Stein. Stein looking for help. Got it over in the corner to Allard. Oh, pretty move there by Allard. The baseline was closed off. They got it back to Dubois. She'll penetrate, and they're going to say going up for 2. I think that's going to be on Murray. We'll check. And it will be on Murray. That'll be her first personal foul, and that will send Dubois to the free throw line for a pair. Back iron, no good. She'll get a second. Bedford with a chance to get the lead up to 10 points if Dubois can make this. She does not, and Lynch grabs the rebound. So if BG is somehow able to come back in this one, it'll be all about free throws. Driving to the hoop is Paquette. I think that's going to go against Allard. And it does. That'll be Allard's second foul. So Cardinals going to try to take it to the hoop here in the second half of this one. They are down by 9. Ball comes over the top to Paquette. Now to Wheeler. Wheeler establishing underneath to Stack. She's triple teamed. Got to get out of the key. She turns the ball over. Allard comes back the other way. So that could have been a 3-second call, but as it was, she threw it away and Allard got the ball. Grogan now. Switch defense help there. Bounce pass across the way. Fired from the outside, and missing everything was Stein. It was a good look. Grogan had a nice bounce pass to her, but they'll come away empty on that one. 5:25 to go here in the third quarter. 29-20 Bulldogs. Paquette over to Murray. Murray now will use the pick. There'll be a roll, but going to get called for the travel is Murray, so another turnover. And again, just to put it in perspective, 12 turnovers for Guertin in the first half, 13 for Bedford. But the free throw line right now is an area of concern for the Bulldogs. And Guertin's only been there 4 times, so also a concern of theirs. Ball comes up top to McCarthy. 5:05 to go in the third quarter. Bedford by 9. Skipped across the way to Stein. Left-hand dribble over to McCarthy. Block shot there, but ball gets stolen by Bedford. So every time Guertin gets the ball, quick hands by the Bulldogs, gets the ball back, and a foul will be called as Dubois hits the deck. And that one's going to go against TB. Brooke Muller will pick up her first personal. Make that her second, excuse me. Grogan now working to her right. Bounce pass across the way. McCarthy tries to go baseline. She'll step back. And a steal there. TB. And great hustle back defensively. And they'll both check on the cameraman as he got whacked there. His glasses got knocked off of his face. Good hustle defense. I believe that was Dubois running the 4x1 relay in there, sprinting back in the transition. Referee will also check the cameraman. Hope he's okay. I think he is. They'll take a quick look at him. Guertin will keep possession. Got to get the ball in. They do to TB, and she was just too far under the hoop. And Guertin getting some great looks. They just can't finish. So still leading by 9 are the Bulldogs. Sid the Kid, bounce pass over to Dubois. Dubois back to Sid. They'll get it underneath to McCarthy all by herself, and a pretty make there by Lana. And she's got 10. Good job in the half court by the Bulldogs. Daly now. Losing the dribble, needs help, bounce pass to TB. The double team came and she got hacked. That one's gonna go against Stein. So anytime a BG big has the ball in their hands, they are forcing double and triple teams trying to knock the ball away. Stein will check out. Zink will check back in. Zink just a freshman, Stein a sophomore. These two will be backcourt mates for years to come. Stack, bounce pass into TB and Lynch rather. And again, a steal there. Back the other way comes Allard and the Bulldogs. Another reverse, no, but another rebound by McCarthy. Ball got kicked off of the feet of Zink. So Guertin ball, 31-20, 11-point Bulldog advantage, 3:40 to go in the third quarter. Just 4 points in the quarter thus far for the Cardinals. 8 for Bedford. Paquette, dribble drive, goes up, no call, rebound McCarthy, back the other way comes Bedford, they'll run. This is Allard. Allard gets double teamed, throws one up, and she'll get hacked in the act. She'll head to the line for a pair. And that one is going to go against TB. That'll be her third personal. Well, anything that can go wrong will in this one. Allard will head to the line for a pair. She'll knock down the first. They fouled the wrong person. Allard goes 2 for 2 on that trip. Rainmaker on the second one. She's got 12. Paquette back the other way. Crossover dribble with the left. Skip past to Lynch. Lynch looking for help. Finds Stack at the free throw line. Ball knocked away. Lynch goes baseline and finishes strong at the hole. No call. And it looks like Dubois got hit somehow here. She may have lost the contact as she reaches down on the floor. Hope she's okay. I think she is. She'll come to the bench, and checking in is Stravopoulos. 11-point Bedford lead. Cardinals expending a lot of energy here trying to get this thing back down to single digits. Here comes the trap. Pretty pass there. 3-on-2. Allard. And a travel called on Allard. No argument there by Coach Gibbs and the bench, so they must have seen something on their angle, but that was a 3-on-1 Bedford advantage. Paquette, pull-up jumper, no, back iron. McCarthy with another rebound. Finds Sid the Kid. She'll get the ball quickly over the half-court line, and she'll set things up in the half-court. Allard now, back to Sid the Kid. She'll go baseline. The kick out to McCarthy got by her. Allard luckily was there for the Bulldogs. Pull-up jumper, McCarthy, back iron, no. Paquette gets the rebound, and Sid the Kid gonna get called for her second personal. So 2:25 to go here in the third quarter. That is the third team foul on Bedford. 4 team fouls against the Cardinals. We'll have a timeout on the floor. I believe it is a 30-second timeout. And it will be timeout Bishop Guertin. So Coach Craig obviously needing to come away with some points here. It has been not a thing of beauty, as both teams struggling at times offensively, struggling at times to keep possession of the ball. But again, as we told Steve Cody prior to this one, better to win ugly than to lose pretty. And right now, what is at stake for Bishop Guertin is their perfect season and defending their state title. The Bulldogs, meanwhile, have other ideas. 2:21 to go here in the third quarter. Stack, right side. They get it underneath the Paquette, and they're going to get a foul call on Zink, and they're probably going to try and take advantage of the size. And they've got to quickly get into that bonus so they can get to the free throw line, as Allard will check in and give McCarthy a break, or that's rather McDonald. Devlin McDonald will check in. And Coach Gibbs utilizing McCarthy quite well here in this one. Bounce pass underneath goes to Wheeler, and she'll get hacked in the act, and she'll head to the free throw line. So they're trying to take advantage of the height on the inside. And that's going to be Allard's third personal foul. That's 12 points for Allard. Wheeler will knock down the first, so the MO here is to score if you're Bishop Guertin when the clock is not running. Still a 10-point Bulldog advantage. 2 out of 2 for Muller, and that's 5 points for her. And it looks like Stein will check back in, and Zink will get a break. So again, Guertin employing the full court pressure, trying to get a turnover here. They'll let the inbound come in, and stolen there by Paquette, and she'll get fouled, and it looks like it's going to go against Stein. So that's going to be the 6th team foul against the Bulldogs. One more, and Guertin will be in the bonus. I'm sorry. Yeah, there we go. Allard was getting ready to take the ball out. I'm like, well, good for her if they had given it to her. Sid the Kid Grogan will check out. Ball comes into Paquette. Pretty backdoor pass and finish there by Wheeler. Back the other way come the Bulldogs. This is Allard. Takes 3 steps on that. They're going to say it's good. So she'll head to the line. So anytime the Cards kind of cut into it, Bulldogs come back the other way. And that is going to be Hannah Lynch's 4th personal foul. She'll head to the bench. Malls of Fire will check back in. 35-26, Allard with a chance for a 3-point play. And she gets it. She's got 15 points so far here in the afternoon. Paquette now. Cardinals down by 10. Goes under the low block. Stack. Kick back out. Malls of Fire. She thought about it. Pretty job. And Stack can't get it to go, but she'll get hacked in the act, and she'll head to the line. So a little 2-person game there between Malls of Fire and Stack. Only thing that would have made that better if it was a 3-point opportunity. And that's 7 team fouls against the Bulldogs, so the Cards will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Stack knocks down the first. She'll get a second. 36-27, Bedford. Two out of 2 for the lefty. Pretty shot there. Tickles the twine. She's got 8. Back the other way comes Allard and the Bulldogs. Ball comes up top to Stein. She'll reverse the floor. Dubois on the right side now. Over into the corner to Stravopoulos. Kick back, and they reverse it yet again. Under the left corner it goes now. Stein looking. She goes baseline. They kick it around. Elbow jump shot is no good. Paquette grabs the board, and she'll run. Pretty pass underneath. Malls of Fire can't get it to go. Got her own rebound, no call. And the ball bounces around again, no call. And another travel call against Bedford. I thought maybe the whistle would have been blown about 8 seconds prior to that, but no call. Bedford will call a little team huddle at the elbow. Cards will get possession. Chance to get it to 6, maybe 5. Over the top to Paquette. She'll dribble into the lane, throws one up, no, and another rebound for Stein and the Bulldogs. She'll slow things down, 46 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Stein, crossover dribble. Gets it over to McCarthy, back to Stein, and they'll operate in the half court. All kinds of patience here. Near steal, back the other way. Allard for 3, no. Rebound goes to Wheeler. 26 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. BG down by 8. Paquette taking her time, 17 seconds to go here. Malls of Fire looking for a cutter. She'll find it. Paquette, baseline, runner in the lane, hits nothing. Back the other way comes McCarthy, and Allard will come away with it. Pretty pass, Stein at the buzzer, and it's good. So pretty pass there. McCarthy to Stein. The lead is back to 10. 8 minutes to go in regulation here. Bulldogs 38, Cardinals 28. Cardinals 8 minutes away from seeing their perfect season going by the wayside at the hands of the Bedford Bulldogs. Cardinals made a little bit of a run there in the 3rd quarter. They scored 14 points in the 3rd quarter, equaling their first half total to give them 28. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ledger, the Bulldogs score 15 That's their biggest quarter thus far. And if you're the Cardinals, you cannot keep exchanging baskets with this Bedford team. We'll set the stage for you. 5 team fouls against the Cardinals, 7 against the Bulldogs. So Guertin will spend the rest of the game at the free throw line. Bulldogs will get it to start things in the second, or the fourth quarter rather. Trap was coming. Paquette hits the deck. Stein looking baseline, and it was a good look. It went off Stravopoulos' hands, so the Cards will get possession. Grogan will check in for Stravopoulos. She is the ball handler on this team. So the Cards now will operate. They'll have to go the full length. 7:52. We are 8 seconds into this one. 38-28 defensive struggle filled with turnovers for both these teams, but also good defense. Stack goes underneath. Paquette can't get it to go. Gets her own rebound, and she'll get hacked on her way up. 2-shot foul for Paquette. And we'll see who they call this one on. I believe it's going to go against Dubois. That's just her first, but more importantly, Paquette will head to the line for a pair of free throws. Acoustic shadows here as Paquette back irons the first. She'll get a second. Members of the Bishop Guertin boys hockey team entering the building here. They won the state title yesterday on a penalty shot of all things against Bedford. So Bedford trying to return the favor here for girls basketball. Nearly a turnover. Sid the Kid Grogan gets the ball underneath, and Paquette is just all kinds of everywhere. She'll get hacked into the scorer's table. Stein over to help her up, but Paquette will head back to the free throw line. She was 1 out of 2 on the last trip. Still just the 1-and-1 opportunity, but 9 team fouls against the Bulldogs. That's going to be Dubois', they say her second personal. Or rather, I believe it went against Stein, excuse me. So 1-and-1 opportunity for Paquette. Knocks down the first, she'll get a second. Any fouls from this point forward will be a 2-shot foul for the Cardinals. So kind of a reversal here from what we saw in the first half. Paquette goes 2 out of 2, 3 for 4 so far here in the fourth quarter. It is a 7-point Bulldog lead. Back the other way comes Grogan, marked up closely there by Murray. Murray making life difficult. Ball comes over. And going up strong there was Grogan. She pumps her fist. As called for the foul will be Murray. That'll be her second personal. So Grogan will head to the line, and if you're Bishop Guertin and your coach Craig, you start thinking about team fouls against you, and you might want to get yourself into that bonus sooner rather than later. You hate to say that, but the free throw woes here for Bedford continue. So if you are Bedford and you get to the free throw line, you got to get those makes. So we'll see if Bedford gets into the bonus on their next trip. It'll be a 1-and-1 opportunity. And they go underneath and forcing it there. Cleaning the glass, up and in is Paquette. And she was all kinds of triple teamed. Got her own rebound and went up strong. 5-point Bedford advantage. And again, we'll see if they elect to foul here. Got to foul the right player. Travel called there against Stein. Back the other way come the Cardinals. 38-33 Bedford. Murray marked up closely. Ball goes underneath, up and under, and in. Paquette with a chance for a three-point play the old-fashioned way. And the foul will go against Stein, and that is her third personal. So a timeout being called here. Don't look now, Steve Cody. 38-35 Bedford. Cards making a little bit of a run here. A chance for Brooke Paquette to knock down a free throw and get the Cards to within a deuce. Jason Roby calling all of the action for you here on the highlight guy. Steve Cody is the man on the moving pictures. I guess we should say the moving sound waves here as you are listening to us terrestrially. And Steve Cody makes us extraterrestrially. See, I thought that comment was worth saying twice, Steve. I got to tell you, quite funny. Anyway, want to thank you all for watching. Want to say hello to Colleen from Cornwall. She is in the house, present. And you know it's a big game if Colleen is making her debut on the season on the campus at the University of New Hampshire. So we'll set the stage for you here. Bishop Guertin will head to the line down 38-35, 6:26 to go here in regulation. 6 team fouls against Guertin, so the next foul against them will put the Bulldogs at the line for 1 and 1. Meanwhile, on the other side, Bedford has 10 team fouls, so it'll be 2 shots the rest of the way for the Cardinals. They've hung around here, they've battled. It has not been a thing of beauty by any stretch for either team. Good old-fashioned rock fight here at Lundholm Gym. Paquette completes the three-point play. Cards are within 2. Back the other way comes Lila Stein. Gets the ball over to Dubois. Dubois on the low block to Allard. All alone underneath. They missed McCarthy. And they'll operate in the half court. Sid the Kid now, using her dribble, working right to left. Crossover, working on Murray. Over it goes to Dubois. The defense chant comes from the Bishop Guertin side of things, and it's going to be a call against Paquette. She leaned in closely there, so she's got to be careful. That's her 3rd personal foul. She's got 18 points on the game, and Coach Craig cannot afford to take her out. A little aggressive there. Dubois will head to the line. Knocks down the first. She'll get a second. So that's what you don't want to do if you're Guertin. You don't want to foul Dubois. .55 senior guard, 2 out of 2 on that trip. She's got 5 points on the afternoon. 6 minutes to go in this one. Cardinals down by 4, 40-36. Crossover dribble. Paquette will dribble through the lane. They foul her, and she goes up and finishes strong, and a chance for another three-point play. And that one is going to go against Allard. So they're saying 3 on Allard. I have 4 on her, but my book obviously not the official one. Paquette now. Shooter's touch there, friendly rims at UNH, and it is a 1-point Bedford lead with 5:45 to go. Bounce pass, and it will be a turnover on the Bulldogs. It was intended for Allard. Too much mustard on that hot dog. Stack will inbound. Paquette now. Bringing the ball up slowly on the mouth of the Wildcat. Goes to her right. And they're going to say the ball went off of her. She hits the deck hard. Back the other way comes Bedford. So we know what the MO is here. Get the ball to Paquette and get out of the way. Back the other way comes Dubois. She's looking for help. Use the left-hand dribble at the elbow. Runner in the lane. No good. Stack pulls down the rebound. And she'll run. She's going to take it right at the hoop. Creates the contact. And the basket is good. Stack will head to the line for a chance at a three-point play. And that foul's going to go against McCarthy. And that'll be her 3rd personal. And don't look now, Guertin has taken the lead, 41-40, with 5:09 to go here. So the 6'1" senior forward will head to the line, trying to complete the three-point play. The lefty front iron, no good. Back the other way comes Allard, and she'll get it over to Stein. 41-40 Guertin. The chain of defense comes from the Guertin student body. Sid the Kid, backdoor cut, pretty move there. Up, no good. Rebound goes to Paquette. 4:50 to go. Murray will operate on the one spot. And we'll see if they try to get the ball back to Paquette. Murray, crossover dribble, brings it into the paint, high off the glass, no, it was a good look, couldn't get it to go, and back the other way come Grogan and the Bulldogs. Back and forth, these two heavyweights go. Feels like it's gonna come down to who has the ball last. That ball airmailed, save, Lynch with the rebound, or the steal rather. And a good heads-up play there by Wheeler to dribble that ball, otherwise she would have got called for a travel. Stein got in that passing lane. Coach Craig calling the play from the sideline. It's Paquette working against Stein. She'll dribble with the right, hand it off to Murray. Murray at the foul line. Pull-up jumper. Yes! And that's Murray's first bucket of the afternoon, and it's a big one. 43-40 Cardinals. 3:51 to go. Allard finds McCarthy inside the elbow. No. Paquette with another rebound. 3:43 to go. And again, they'll get the ball over to Murray and allow her to operate in the half court. Watch that carry. We'll see. Throws one up, and not a good look there, forcing that ball by Murray. Skip pass across the way. Stein, pretty bounce pass, and strong for McCarthy. And I think that's going to go against Lynch, and that's going to be her 5th personal. And that's going to send McCarthy to the free throw line. She's got 10 so far here. And heading into the game will be Malls of Fire. Molly Smith in for the recently fouled out Lynch. So we'll close the book on Hannah. She finished with 3 points. Huge free throws here from McCarthy. Misses the first, she'll get a second. So you got to look at that last possession by BG down here. They kind of forced one up. Tough angles all around. 43-40 BG. McCarthy from the free throw line, back iron, no, and a huge rebound for Megan Stack. 3:14, 3:13 to go. Slicing through, pretty pass, and well done by Malls of Fire. Murray now. She'll dribble, top of the key, crossover dribble working against Sid the Kid between the legs. Looking for some help, got it out to Smith. They find Stack on the low block. Pretty bounce pass. It was intended for Paquette. Tough angle, and it hit the BG bench. It was the right idea, maybe, because the Stack felt the double team coming, and it would have left Paquette open, but the pass was a tough angle. 2:48 to go, 43-40 Cardinals. Stein reverses it. Pretty pass underneath to McCarthy. And good ball movement there by the Bulldogs. Back the other way come the Cards. They have a 1-point advantage. Murray got the ball over to Stack. Stack looking for help. They're not coming out to get her. She could have held the ball for as long as she wanted. There would have been no 5-second call. And a timeout will be called by Coach Craig. So we'll set the stage for you. Deuces are wild here in the fourth quarter. 2:22 to go. Bishop Guertin with a 1-point lead, 43-42. 8 team fouls against the Cardinals, so any foul from this point forward against them will put Bedford at the line for 1-1. Meanwhile, double bonus on the other side. If Bedford fouls, it'll be 2 free throws for the Cardinals. And free throws at this point have been the difference in the game. From a scoring standpoint, Guertin hanging around for the duration of this one. You knew they were going to make a run at some point, but this Bedford team You would expect nothing different from them. Each team taking each other's best punch. Back and forth we go. It'll be Cardinal ball on the side. 2:22 to go here. Jason Roby calling all of the action for you with the highlight guy, Steve Cody, on the moving pictures. And you are listening to us live. You'll be able to see the game after the fact. Got to move their feet. They get it into Stack, and she will use the dribble. She'll work against McCarthy. Nice kick out there to Malls of Fire. Loses the dribble. 3-second call? No, travel was the call. So if you're going to dribble in there, you better dribble out. It was either a travel or a 3-second violation. Bedford with a chance to take the lead here after Guertin battled all the way back. This is Stein. They reverse it to Allard. Allard now way top of the key right side, loses the dribble. Good defense there by Stack. Watching that backside, Stein is sneaking in. They don't account for. Little pull-up jumper from the baseline is no good. They went over the back of Stack, no call. Sid the Kid against Balls of Fire. It'll be a block shot. Bedford keeps possession. 1:43 to go here. Everything that we thought it would be. Over the top to McCarthy. Got it over to Allard. Marked up there. And Malls of Fire careful not to come out too far. Losing the dribble. Over the top it goes and stolen. And that was Stack. And back the other way comes Paquette. Pretty bounce pass. Can't get it to go. Cleaned up underneath by Wheeler, and she'll get hacked in the act. And that foul is going to go against, I believe it's Grogan. That's her 4th personal. So Wheeler will head to the line for a pair. These free throws are huge. Everybody quieting down here as Wheeler goes around the rim and out. And Daly, the defensive stalwart, will check in for Murray. Interesting move there. Defensive purposes, obviously. Wheeler with a second chance. 1 out of 2 for the senior. It is a 2-point Guertin advantage, 1:20 to go here. And stepping into that passing lane was Stack. McCarthy operating way outside the 3-point line. Coach Gibbs wanting to talk this one over. So we will head into the last 1 minute and 17 seconds of regulation. The Cardinals nursing a 2-point lead. They came all the way back in the 4th quarter. They've scored 16 points here in the 4th. Meanwhile, just 4 for the Bulldogs. Obviously, this game going to go down to the wire. The 2 best teams in the state of New Hampshire, each of the last 6 or 7 years, Bishop Guertin and Bedford. They've met in the state title game. They've had epic battles in the regular season. Each team taking each other's best shot here today. And it was almost like a feeling out contest for the first 3 quarters just to get to this 4th quarter and then reset the scoreboard and let's go. Bishop Guertin trying to keep their unbeaten streak, undefeated season alive here and go wire to wire. The Bedford Bulldogs will try to win their state title, the 2nd in 3 years and the 2nd at the expense of Guertin. Brooke Muller in the game. She will guard the inbound pass. They'll see if they try to get a return back to Dubois after the inbound. She'll head baseline, and back the other way comes Stein. Kick out. McCarthy into the paint with the right hand. Spin move. Up and under, and no good. McCarthy will head to the line. So huge free throws for McCarthy here. 1:07 to go in regulation. McCarthy with 2 free throws. She takes the first, high off the glass, and no good. And checking back in will be Murray. And Malls of Fire will head to the bench. Stack And Muller on the low post here for rebounding position if there is one. No! And they're going to say a violation, and I believe it went against McCarthy. And checking back in for TB will be Wheeler. Full court pressure being employed here by Bedford. 66, now 65 seconds to go. Stein marking up Paquette. We'll see if they foul. Kicked out to the side. Daly back to Paquette. 55 seconds to go. It is a 2-point Guertin advantage. Nice bounce pass over to Wheeler. Now they get the ball into Murray's hands. Murray will hold. Bounce pass back up top to Paquette. Here comes the double team. Paquette splits it. They get it over to Murray. And we're going to get a call. I think it's going to go against, it's either McCarthy or Grogan. They're going to say it's Sid the Kids, I believe. And that is her, I believe that's her 5th personal. But she's staying in the game, so not quite sure what's happening here. I think it is her 5th. It is. They check the book. So Grogan will check out. She'll get a standing ovation from the fans here as Murray will head to the bench. Or rather, Wheeler will head to the bench. Checking into the game was Annie Zink, and this will be Murray from the free throw line for 2 big free throws. It's the double bonus, so she'll get 2 no matter what. Knocks down the first, and she'll get a second. 39.5 to go in this one. Guertin by 3. 5'8" senior guard Olivia Murray knocks down the second. It is a 4-point Cardinal advantage. Now 35, Stein working on Paquette. We'll see if they'll go for a 3-pointer. They do, fired from the outside, misses everything. Great return there, and grabbing the rebound is Paquette. She saves the ball to TB. They'll foul her, and she'll head to the line with 20.6 seconds to go in this one. So Guertin up by 4, 20.6 seconds to go. Brooke Muller will head to the free throw line, the 6'2" sophomore forward, with a chance to extend this Guertin lead. It is now 4. Make that 5. We talked to Megan Stack and how much this Guertin team works on free throws. Coach Craig said 70% is the magic number. Muller goes 2 for 2, and it is a 6-point Cardinal advantage. Back the other way comes Bedford. From the outside, a 3-point shot, no, back iron, rebound, bounced around. Paquette has it in her hands, and there will be a foul call. And it was Dubois, the 5'5" senior guard, going at it with Paquette, who hit the deck hard. And Paquette has willed her team to this position. She'll head back to the free throw line for a pair. She's got 21 points on the night. Knocks down the first, she'll get a second. A 7-point Guertin advantage, and that is just about gonna do it, as checking in for the Cardinals will be Wheeler. Daly will head to the bench. 9.6 seconds left in this one. 2 out of 2, and that's gonna do it, folks. Do not foul on the 3-pointer. 8 seconds, 6, 5, fired by McCarthy is good for 3. They do not have to inbound the ball. Full timeout called by Coach Gibbs. So 5-point advantage. McCarthy with the stroke from way downtown. 2.8 seconds to go. 5-point Cardinal advantage. All they have to do here is inbound the ball. If they can't, they still have some timeouts left. So we'll take a look at this fourth quarter. "22 points in the fourth quarter. 7 for the Bulldogs, including that last desperation three-pointer by McCarthy. 2.8 seconds left. The bench on the BG side is all standing. The student body standing, stacked to inbound the ball, arguably the best passer. We'll see if they try to take a shot downtown over the top. Basically just have to touch the ball in. They do just that. And it's going to be a foul with 1.5 seconds left. That's going to send Paquette back to the free throw line. Paquette has 23 points in the game so far. Checking in will be Kendra Patel, the 5'9" senior guard, will come in for the Cardinals. Front iron for Paquette. And checking out will be Megan Stack, and they stand for her. This last free throw. Also Reagan Gilmore checking in. This last free throw, a moot point at best, as Bedford having to go the full length of the floor. Paquette goes 1 of 2. She'll finish with 24 points, and that is going to do it. And the Cardinals go undefeated, back to back. They have perhaps the greatest fourth quarter in their championship game history. Brooke Paquette's 24 leads the way. They are the 2023 state champions. Bedford Bulldogs giving them everything they could handle. And BG just hung around and kept fighting and kept fighting and kept clawing their way. And they will finish wire to wire. And we talk about legacy. You talk about teams that are in conversations with the greatest of all time, maybe in state history. You look no further than the 1987 Nashua High School team that won the national title in the USA Today. Legendary John Fagula, who brought Brad Craik under his tutelage. And it was almost like watching a mirror image of those 80s and 90s Nashua High School teams. Guertin goes wire to wire on the season. They have to battle back in the fourth quarter. Not to mention 6, count them, 6 out-of-state games against 3 opponents that are still playing in the NHIAA state tournament. The handshake at half court, and both teams very respectful of one another. And we are going to take this break. We're going to head down to half court for the trophy presentation and hopefully get a couple of interviews with your back-to-back state champion Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Your final here from the Lundholm Gym. Bishop Guertin 51 and Bedford 45. We'll be right back with some post-game interviews. Okay. And we are back here with the senior class of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. No, change that. The defending champion Bishop Guertin Cardinals here. They won their back-to-back state titles. Congratulations, ladies. I got to ask, was it ever in doubt? Was it ever in doubt? No. We'll start with Brooke, who's holding the trophy over here, the plaque on the other side of things. You guys had, I think, a 24-point fourth quarter. What was the difference in that fourth quarter than the first 3?
We just talked about at halftime, and in the third quarter, we need to come out with more intensity, start attacking the glass, getting as much offensive rebounds as we were trying to do in the defensive rebounds.
Okay, good. So it seemed like throughout the course of the game, it was a real feeling out process. At the half, they had 13 turnovers. You had 12. Was taking care of the basketball something that you talked about at halftime?
Yes, for sure. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
No.
we go. Yeah, go. Share. You guys share the ball so well. Share the mic.
Here.
Yeah, that was definitely, a key point is taking care of the ball because that's am I good?
You're good.
That was really what we focused on because if we don't have the ball, then we can't do what we like to do.
So looking at this team, and this is certainly one for all of you, and I want you to think long and hard about this. In terms of New Hampshire State history, when you talk about the greatest teams to ever play in the state of New Hampshire, you look no further than the 1987 Nashua High School team that was voted #1 in the nation by the USA Today back in 1987. Coach Craik learned a lot of his basketball from Coach Fagula, who coached that team for the 1987 title. Have you guys at any time talked about the legacy of this group and what it means to go wire to wire and back to back? Have you talked at all about that?
Oh yeah, we know that we just proved tonight that we're the best team in the state.
Yeah, you're good. Don't worry, it's Steve's. If it breaks, I don't have to pay for it. So.
And we've been talking about that all year, just like proving who we are and showing everyone.
Yeah, so any final words that we want to share here as we wrap this thing up in the 2023 season? You guys go wire to wire. You do it the way you're supposed to do it. You're battling all the way. You play 6 teams out of state. Oh, by the way, 3 of those teams are in the NHIAA Final Four. Later on next week, we'll be covering a couple of those games. What's the one message you want to share with the rest of the state about this team? We know basketball-wise, you are cream of the crop. You're the best of the best. But talk to us a little bit, Megan, about this team and what this team means to you.
I think no one works harder than this team. We've been through thick and thin with each other for years, and we've all grown up together. I mean, I look around and I've been with these girls since I was 8 years old. So I think the thing I take away from this team, whether you're a senior, whether you're a junior, is that we're such a family and we come in every day and we know what our goal is and we know what we want to do. So we just look at each other and say, whatever happens, we do it for each other.
And what is your legacy? What is the thing that 25 years from now people will talk about with this Bishop Guertin team? When you guys are watching your own kids play basketball somewhere, what's the message that you'll give to them to talk about this 2023 team?
It's not supposed to be easy, and you have to embrace the hard because that's when the best things come from it. So
we're going to end on that one. Let's congratulate the 2023 Bishop Guertin Cardinals. They go wire to wire, beating their arch nemesis in the process. A great game by Bedford. This team would not be denied. These seniors would not be denied. And because of that, they are your reigning back-to-back state champions. Congratulations, ladies. Awesome. Here with junior Hannah Lynch. Hannah, we just talked to your senior teammates as they were extremely excited to go wire to wire, back-to-back state titles, and you're joining us now. Talk to us about the relationship you have with each of those young ladies and your team as a whole, especially ending their career here today on this floor.
Yeah, we were all so tight together because we played together for so long. And I'm really going to miss them next year. The chemistry we all had together, we played great together.
And talk to us a little bit about this game. Was it ever in doubt in terms of, looking up at that scoreboard, running out of time? Bedford's going on runs. They were playing with 10-point leads, 11-point leads. Were you guys at any time nervous about the outcome of this one?
No, we kept just saying, keep pushing it, we got this. Even at halftime, Brad's like, we got this in the bag. Just keep doing what we know how to do, and we'll be fine in the end, and we were.
And what was the message to one another there as the final seconds were counting down? I was looking over, and I saw all of you standing there on the bench getting ready to storm the floor. Was it a sigh of relief because you went wire to wire and it was so hard, or was it just a matter of this thing ends here today?
We were just so happy to be here and to win finally, and come back from that.
And talk to me about next year. What kind of challenges does next year pose with all of these seniors leaving? You now have that leadership role, don't you?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough, but we have to make a new team, and hopefully it'll work out.
Good. Well, she is Hannah Lynch, and she is a back-to-back state champion. Congratulations, Hannah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
ready.
you.
We are here post-game celebration. Everybody has left except us. Brad Craik is a busy man making the rounds, saving the best for last with a highlight guy. Jason Roby here, Steve Cody on the moving pictures, also joined by Aaron Carney, 2020 Player of the Year in the house. And, Coach, congratulations. I don't really know what to say other than the fact that Is that how you envision this one going down?
Is exactly how we drew it up. Yeah. we basically figured, we'll try to make it interesting and, play as poorly as we could possibly play for 3 quarters, and then
check,
and then kind of turn the gas on a little bit. So, I've said for 15, 20 minutes, anybody's asked me, sometimes you're just getting beat by a better team.
Yeah. Yep.
And for 3 quarters and a minute and a half,
yeah.
Bedford was a better basketball team than we were.
Yeah.
I just don't know how else you would analyze that situation. They were just beating us. Flat out beating us.
And so to that end, talk about the resiliency of your young ladies to just hang in there and get it, whittle it down to single digits in the 4th quarter before you talk about the resiliency of your team.
Yeah, they're tough as nails.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're just tough as nails, and we've had these kids for 4 years. E and her bunch that graduated in 20, every bit as tough. And, I joked at an event we had a couple weeks ago about, at our senior night, about how when Erin and her group were were seniors, and this group were freshmen, that, E and her buddies used to kick the crap out of them, every day. But it grew, they grew up for it. They grew up as a result of it, and these guys showed them the way. And I'm just really proud of that group of seniors for just grinding it out. For 4 years, they didn't get to play in a state championship game East senior year, but they've been in this game 3 straight years.
Mm-hmm.
We got beat a couple years back when they were sophomores by Bedford and Bella King, and just an absolute stud. And they have figured out in each of the last 2 seasons, how to just work through the adversity in the biggest moments and figure out how to have more points on the scoreboard than the other team at the end of the game. And not sure exactly how we did it in the last 7 minutes, but we figured it out. Can
you talk to us a little bit about the post-game handshake? Coach Kevin Gibbs of Bedford, leaning over and whispering something. Is that anything you can share with us as to what goes into something like that? Because obviously you two guys, your teams do battle, but there's a battle off the court going on. He's trying to put the X's and the O's together, and you're trying to counter that. What were the words that he said to you at the conclusion of that one?
He said congratulations, and then the rest of it, I'll leave that one between Kevin and
awesome.
Kevin and myself.
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask.
You can ask, but
nope, that's fine. That's fine. Appreciate that, and appreciate
private moment.
Absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about. We talked to the seniors about legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And what it means to a team to be able to go wire to wire and beat 6 out-of-state opponents and do it against teams that are playing in the NHIAA tournament Final 4 in the next couple of nights. Did you talk to your team at all about legacy? I talked to them a little bit about the 1987 Nashua High team that won the national title in USA Today. Did anything about where they fit in the scheme of things come up?
No, not really.
Okay.
Now, am I dumb enough to think that they probably haven't thought about it in their own minds and maybe talked about it, privately as a group? I'm sure they have, and I'm sure they've thought about it.
Yeah.
But it never was a topic of conversation, with the team. And as we were getting ready for the tournament here, it's cliche, Jason, but we just wanted to win the game in front of us.
Yeah.
And the kids did a pretty good job just staying focused, trying to stay in the moment. I wish they stayed a little more in the moment for the first 24 minutes today.
Sure.
But, when it was crunch time, we had kids that turned it on and figured out how to make enough plays on both ends of the floor to, get us home.
My last question and comment to you is obviously, Erin Carney, you lose seniors like this every year. You're losing a great group of seniors here this year. We talked to Hannah Lynch a little bit about maybe looking ahead to next year, what that brings. What's next year hold for this Cardinal team?
Yeah, we'll be young. We'll be young. We'll have Lynchy back. TB will be Lynchy and our Ari Kuchalakis will be back. But, we're going to really have to rely on the young kids in the program. Obviously, the 3 of them that I just mentioned will have to, like these guys did for the group that just left, and like, Brooke and Stack and that crew did for the young kids this year. They're going to have to show the young kids the way. Knock on wood, we get a good kid group coming in, and try to keep the thing rolling.
I want to congratulate you, back-to-back state champs. Great to see your alumni coming back and supporting the team.
My bud.
Erin Carney. And just want to say that, whatever post-game celebrations happen down the road, hopefully the highlight guy and I will be in
guys will be
attendance.
there.
And we'll
You
be in
guys will
attendance
be
to
there.
share in the here tonight from the campus at the University of New Hampshire. We're here with the state champion head coach Brad Crake, and congratulations, coach. You went wire to wire. You are in the conversation for one of the greatest teams all time, no question about it, in the state of New Hampshire. It's been a pleasure covering you. Thank you for the opportunity, and we look forward to doing it again with you.
Yeah, you guys are the best. Thank you.
Awesome. He is Coach Brad Crake of the defending and repeating state champions. They'll head back to Lund Road, but they called this Lund home their home for the last 2 years. See what I did there, Steve? Lund home. Anyway, I digress. For Steve Cody, the man on the moving pictures, my name is Jason Roby, reminding you that, well, it's not the critic who counts, but you can always count on the critic. Thanks for a great season, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you soon.